Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, dear brothers and sisters. In fact, we're very, very happy to welcome you to a new edition of our show. It's a new week, and we're really happy to have a conversation with you again today. We hope you're doing well, and we hope everything is fine with you. If not, let us know. So we have so many stories to tell. You guys are doing a great job. You're sharing a whole lot of information with us, and we're happy you're doing that. As we told you, this is your channel. We are going to be using a lot of the information you sent to us to build the stories of the show of the day. And we feel this is the best way to do it. We want to report on stories that are important to you, that are central to your lives, and that's just what we're doing. And from what we see, our viewers and our subscribers are very, very happy with doing this. This is a form of communion. Continue sending us your stories, and we're going to be using them. For today, we're going to concentrate on a subject. You know, we like talking about African problems. We like talking about the paradox of African poverty. How can a continent that is rich in resources be poor? How can the people be poor? So we like to harp on that theme. But for today, we like to take you to the goal of this show. When we started this show, we told you we are Pan-Africanists, and we believe in the vision of one Africa, one people, one currency, and we're looking for ways to reach other people who share the same philosophy. So far, things are really working out. We're happy with the results. More and more brothers and sisters in the motherland and the diaspora are contacting us, and we're sharing ideas. So this is what we want. Eventually, we think we're going to get to the goal that we set for ourselves. Right now, we're just trying to build our viewership so that we can have a lot more brothers and sisters working with us, so that we can create this new movement of Pan-Africanism, where we want to take our continent back. Because if Africa is a rich continent and Africans are poor, it's because they are not really in control of their destiny. So we want Africa to be in control of its destiny. That's the only way our people will be happy staying at home. For today, we're really going to be looking at the Africa diaspora, okay? So many Africans have left home because they're not really happy with the condition of life at home. As we say, most of these, our leaders, we're having what we call a crisis of leadership. That's really Africa's problem. Africans are very talented, more talented than most other people in the world. But Africa is where it is today because of the crisis of leadership. We have a whole lot of bad governance going on. We elect leaders. Instead of the leaders worrying about the interests of the people, they care about their pocketbooks and their stomachs. As they say, stomach care. So we who are in the diaspora are beginning to unite to start changing the status quo. Most of these important leaders, we want to topple them. We call them important leaders because they are important politically, socially, and economically. These are people who get into power, and they don't really know how to develop the political system, how to develop the economic system, or how to develop the social system. They are now beholden to imperialist powers, and they are just contented. It's just like they've eaten the lotus fruit. They are contented. They don't want to do the work they were elected to do, which is the work of the people. So for today, we're going to share information with you about the African diaspora that is working hard to beginning to put this leadership in check. And things are changing. To begin, the story of today, we know this week there's been a meeting of the AU, the African Union. They were meeting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. For the meeting of this year, the theme is really interesting, silencing the guns. Yes, if we have to make Africa great again, we have to silence these guns. But so far, every year when these leaders set a goal, they never achieve this goal. They always fail. In fact, Musa Faki Mahamat himself acknowledged failure. And most of the other presidents have really acknowledged failure. So they spend a lot of time talking about silencing the guns. The guns are never really going to be silent so long as we have the politics of division. Okay? So long as we are not willing to share the cake with our brothers and sisters, we're always going to get into conflicts. And so long as the leaders like to use weapons, weapons of mass destruction to kill dissent. This would create more room for violence. And that's why we're having a whole lot of violence in the motherland, okay? We're having violence because our leaders are prone to using big guns, weapons of mass destruction. They call people who protest against them terrorists. So they are just playing in the hands of the Western powers like the United States, Britain, and France, okay? They are all puppets. And I call them eunuchs. They are eunuchs because they are impotent. They're impotent politically, they're impotent socially, and they're impotent economically. So we have to topple all these guys and kick them out. And it's beginning to happen because you can see now that in most areas in Africa where you have these impotent leaders, there's trouble. I give you the example of Cameroon. There's a whole lot of trouble in Cameroon. In fact, this week, the election took place, what I call the fake elections. The election is fake because we already knew who the winners are going to be because the CPDM party, which is the rogue regime Paul Biya's party, they've already decided who will win the election, but they try to deceive the people by playing games. In fact, this week you can see a whole lot of pictures and videos. We show you the resistance of the people in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. They have decided that they don't want any election in their territory because they know these elections are going to be fake. If you look, the videos are just so many.
We'll scatter them with one explosive.
We have born in a notching. Yes. We don't destroy two hamburger and today so. Yes, now yes so today.
We don't need to vote go on.
No vote.
For Bafoot here, no nothing no take place.
No nothing.
Yeah, no nothing no take place.
No nothing.
We don't sample them two amok them. So we the same way they give me the cam. The cam would wait then I wait down. Now so.
In Ambazonia land, nobody is ready to vote for La Republic du Cameroon. You can see people are still planning to go. Here in Miami and Janawa, you can see the whole village. You can see no man. The whole village. This is Junction here in Janawa, where people used to come out there and vote for the La Republic. There's nobody there. They say they can't vote. Is this their polling box? Just look at what La Republic have done. Nobody will ever vote for La Republic again in life here in Miami.
In fact, there are just so many videos that there's really no time for us to really spend and show you all the videos. But we invite you to look at our website because the videos of Cameroon are just so many. You can see the vehicles, military vehicles, streaming into the northwest and southwest region, trying to strike fear into the people. They kill the people, but the people are resisting. The resistance is so fierce. In fact, for the first time, the rogue regime of Mr. Paul Biya has seen that these people are dead set on fighting back. They are killing them, but they are fighting back, and they are even taking the uniforms of the B military and wearing them. You can even see some of the pictures of the guys. You even see some of the videos. In fact, I was really impressed when I saw some of these guys on a small engine boat with their guns and their military uniform, and they were really parading around the sea and showing their weapons, and they were really happy that they are challenging the almighty La République.
Any way no say me come out to them outside, bring me a face to face, and the hungry for preach, and one preach, I said no pity one preach, you don't fear no dog. Me on the battalion from Kutaba enter Bambala today, and the doctor from Bambala water, send me the cap down, me I go kill them all, now me no pity, from the Marine Force Bambala.
Then you also have people in some of the towns. In fact, when you look at the pictures of most of the towns, everything is dead. You don't see any people. You don't see any people. Everything is deserted. But you can see pictures of people in the bushes, the refugees. As I have a lot of pictures I can share with you. You see the refugees preparing food. You even see Reverend Fathers officiating Mass in the bushes just to give comfort and solace to most of these refugees. And our prayers also go to these refugees because we know that their plight is really serious, and we pray for them every day. And we're also asking you to pray for these refugees in Ambazonia. The soldiers are really killing a lot of them, so everybody is in the bushes. Then you see the resistance fighters of Ambazonia, you see them, they've dug a lot of the roads, so they make it difficult for most of these big vehicles from La Republic to ply through. So the vehicles get stuck. Then when the soldiers get out of the vehicles, they become targets of the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. So these guys have really succeeded. So the voting has ended, but as we can tell you, not much took place in the northwest and southwest region. People will tell you lies. They will tell you lies that, oh, the voting went well. It's a big lie. We have the videos and pictures to show you. Nothing really happened. Even Victoria, which they call now Limbe, we have so many videos and pictures. This is a seaport. This is where Sonara is found. That's the oil company in Cameroon. It's found in Victoria. They changed the name to Limbe, trying to deceive the people. They used to tell you, oh, the bees and Bia military, and they took control of Limbe. You can see the streets in Limbe, they're all empty. Some of the people who dared go to some polling stations were arrested and sent away. So everything was just deserted. So it was just like a ghost town. All the towns were just dead. There was no sign of life. Even the animals also chose to run away from the towns into the bushes, just because they did not want to participate in this fake election. So as we told you last week, what happened basically was that the Biya regime decided to send soldiers with big heads and big jaws to go and vote, pretending to be private citizens. But we caught them up with all these lies, and we know that they were just telling lies. So that's as much as we can tell you for Cameroon. You can see a lot of the videos. So just know that the legislative and municipal elections were a failure. The Maurice Kamto Party, MRC, decided to boycott these elections. So the other parties decided to boycott these elections. So even if they announced the results by telling you that, oh, CPDM became victorious again, it's just a pre-known result. People already knew that this is what the results were going to be. Then why waste time and kill a lot of people instead of just announcing the results? Well, it's because this is a government that is based on deceit, and they want to deceive the world community that things are normal. No, things are never going to be normal in this part of the region. We even have some videos to show you of other news organizations that were talking about these fake elections in Cameroon. Okay? So this is as much as we can tell you about Cameroon.
Hey yo, Shape, I thought you was gonna take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states where it's born, he even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
Now we're going to move to Nigeria. Nigeria also is having a whole lot of problems. Last week, we spoke to you about the travel ban. The US decided to set a travel ban on Nigeria because of insecurity. Most of the standards that were set for security, the Buhari regime could not meet these standards. As a result, the Trump administration decided to establish the travel ban. And Nigerians are really feeling the pain of this travel ban. And already, as we told you a few weeks ago, the Yorubas, most of those governors, were already deciding to create what they call Amotekun, because that was their own response to the insecurity that has been happening in Nigeria. Every week we've been reporting to you, we've been telling you the way people are like being killed in Nigeria because of Boko Haram. Okay? This menace has really come to a head, and the people now decided to take the law into their own hands. We had told you before that if Mr. Buhari were a smart politician, he would have decided to ask the people to come up with a solution. After the people became tired of Mr. Buhari's failure and weaknesses, they decided to take the law into their own hands and create their own organization. That's how the Yorubas decided to create the Amotekun, so which is basically a security outfit, a vigilante outfit which tries to handle security in their part of the country. When the Yorubas did this, the Hausas this week have decided to follow suit with their own group, which they call the Shege Ka Fasa. So they also have this group which is emerging now as an alternative to Buhari's state security. But even the Sodwana of Sokoto was challenging this. He felt that the youth should not just make radical decisions and impose new security strategies in the country. He feels the old leaders have really failed because they've abdicated their role as leaders of the country if they've allowed the youth to take over and provide security. So this is already showing how the Hausas are failing. Now the Igbos will take their own turn to join with other minorities to create their own security outfit. But what we'll see is if intelligent leaders don't come to power in Nigeria, it looks like this country may break into pieces. Because already the Yorubas are clamoring for their own state, which is Oduduwa, and the Igbos are clamoring for their own state. So it looks like things may just break. And that's what we see in the horizon. And we're saying we need visionary leadership to try to change the course of this. And which is why we say the Nigerian diaspora should really work hard to engage these foolish politicians like Buhari to change the course of things in Nigeria. Showore Omoyele was really protesting, and we think he was doing a good job. But we want other Nigerians to join Omoyele Showore to make the issue of insecurity known to the average Nigerian citizen who can come up with some ways to solve this problem.
I'm at Favor. It's an African store by the neighborhood here, Baysville, in back of Maryland's farm. It's been a wonderful year for the past 2 to 3 years we have in this African store here, and it's helping us, and actually it's a good place for us to come and give us support and do some shopping here. The prices are reasonable, and most of the stuff you can have is universal.
One thing I love about this store, they are very consistent and they treat the customers very, very well. You come here, you see everything that you will need for your house.
So insecurity is not just limited just to Nigeria and Cameroon. We're going to also take you to Guinea. Guinea is a country where President Alpha Conde wants to run for a third term. But this third term project is already being challenged by the opposition. And a lot of people have died because of their opposition to the third term project. Even in the United States of America, in fact, as we're coming to the studio today, we saw news about U.S. Secretary General Pompeo criticizing Alpha Conde, telling him to be careful because this can create a whole lot of insecurity in the region. But Alpha Conde seems to be set on staying as president, even though he's ineffectual. He wants to stay as the president of Guinea, and this is going to create a lot more tension and insecurity in the region. And similarly, we made a story last time. We wrote a story about John Magufuli in Tanzania. So we'll take you down south. Some of you responded very, very harshly. It was like, how dare you talk about President John Magufuli? Well, we're telling you that this show is an independent channel, okay? Nobody pays us. So we are independent enough to criticize every leader who is not doing well in the motherland. So if you don't like it, just get with the program, because we are free to talk. And if you want to challenge us, we invite you to challenge us. When a leader is not doing well, we'll have to call them out. And which is why we had called John Magufuli a few weeks ago, and we told you that he was becoming a dictator. Even though he rose because of his reform program, people felt this is a man of the people who's going to bring change. People loved the changes he was introducing. But when he became a dictator, winning 99% of the elections, the people became upset, okay? His opposition started complaining because this is not fair. Free and fair elections will really lead to peace. But when you start using violence against your opponents, that's not democracy, and that's bad for the new African nation. We want to build a nation of peace and prosperity. And we want to sweep away all these eunuchs. The leaders, I call them eunuchs, okay? They're all impotent. They're impotent politically, they're impotent socially, and they're impotent economically. They cannot deliver the political aspirations of their people. They cannot deliver the economic aspirations of their people. They cannot deliver the social promises of their people. What their people expect is to live a decent life, but they don't create an environment that makes it possible for such a life to be lived in, which is why most Africans choose to run away from their continent and travel abroad. But today, the African diaspora is becoming a problem for the motherland. As we've told you before, these are the people who are going to create change in Africa. We're leading the charge and we're encouraging them. They're going to topple all these impotent leaders, okay?
Life insurance money secrets of millionaires and billionaires exposed. Discover how America's rich and famous exploit these arcane tools to build fabulous wealth. Why should these big white guys have all the fun? Let Prince Ojong, the celebrity author of The Miraculous Millionaire, show you the little understood life insurance way to riches. Are you still doubting the good things that life insurance can do for you? Trust strategies, estate planning, 401k rollover, annuity contract, cash value, education funding, executive benefits, income protection, life protection, living benefits, mortgage protection, tax-free retirement? Think and grow rich with life insurance. Your amazing journey to wealth begins by calling Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131.
We took you to the African Union meeting that took place this week. Already, instead of talking even about African problems, most of them were talking about the problems in Palestine and Israel. They were criticizing President Donald Trump. We're not saying that they should not criticize President Donald Trump, but we think they were focusing too much attention on a problem away from home when they should actually be focusing attention on Africa. They were complaining about the peace plan between the Israelis and the Palestinians. It's true. We're not saying that it's fair what is happening to Palestinians in the Middle East, but we don't want to leave our own politics and focus too much on the politics of the Middle East when we have too many problems to resolve. Our main problem, as we told you, is the poverty of Africans. How can Africans be living in a continent of plenty and be poor? How can this be? Nations that do not have natural resources come and take what we have, and we don't negotiate well, and they take our stuff. So this show is going on because we want to change these dynamics. We want to speak for the average African. We want to be your voice, which is why we created the show. We want to take your message, make you fight for your freedom, resist these bastards they call African leaders, okay? They are all eunuchs, they are all impotent, and we want how to get rid of them. So we've come to the end of our show. We've told you before, we don't want this to be a very long show, but we want you to know that the crux of the matter is we are unhappy with the fact that Africa is a rich continent, but Africans are poor. We have to change this dynamic, okay? By force or by peace, we have to change this dynamic. Africans cannot be poor. Africans cannot be strangers in their own country. No, this should stop. Foreigners cannot come in and take what we have. This has to stop. If the leaders don't want to stand for what the African people stand for, then the people have to topple these leaders. Already it's happening because you say silencing the guns. The guns are not going to be silent, okay? So long as there is no peace, you want to do things without giving your brother his own share of the pie, there will be no peace. So long as you don't want your sisters to participate in the national cake, there will be no peace. So we're warning all these leaders that your time is up. The African diaspora is a sleeping giant. These sleeping giants are waking up. They are waking up to topple you. So be careful. The diaspora is big. They are sleeping giants because we are opening their eyes so that they should know the power that they have. They have the power to change the destiny of Africa. And that's what we're asking them to do. So we thank you very much for watching this show. Please subscribe, share the show with your friends, go to our website and suggest articles or send articles to us. We thank you very much. Most of the businesses advertising on this show, please try to support them. Once again, thank you very much for watching this show. We love you. Bye-bye.
Favorite International Food Store. African food costs too much money. Yes, we agree. In fact, that is why we opened Favorite International Food Store. 1. Price. Low prices every day. 2. Variety. Get everything you are looking for. 3. Customer service. Enjoy the best customer service. 4. Shipping station. We bring the food to you. Favorite International Food Store. We are African's Costco and Sam's Club. Retail, wholesale, online, offline. Act now. Experience Favor's freebies today. Call 301-595-3500. Favorite International Food Store, 11456 Cherry Hill Road, Beltsville, Maryland, 20705.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.